one more term because one of the other commitments I made is I would honor the will of the voters on term limits in Pinellas County that have been in the laws and the court systems for some 16 years now. And that's technicality stuff, but the voters on 73% said they wanted 8-year term limits on our county commissioners. And I have pledged to do that, so if you are kind enough to give me one more term, I will serve one more term. And I did that before. I'm going to do it just to make you angry. I'm going to be done in less than 30 seconds. Thank you for those 4 years.
Good evening, and again, thank you for having us here tonight. My name is Dave Eggers, and I am the mayor of the city of Dunedin, and very honored to be running for office. This is indeed a privilege to be at least considered among my fellow candidates to run. I am, just to give you a little background on me, I'm a businessman. I just basically, business runs in my blood. I've been in business 29 years as a commercial realtor. I went to business school at the University of Pittsburgh and got a master's in business, and certainly have used those tools in everything that I do. I'm a Chamber of Commerce past chair and work with a lot of small businesses. So in essence, the small businesses we all consider really the heartbeat of America. I'm in touch with it. It's just really who I am. I've also been a city commissioner in the city of Dunedin for 6 years and 5 years now as its mayor, and have just absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. Didn't plan on getting into politics, but it certainly is something that I've enjoyed. Chamber of Commerce sent me out there to kind of take a peek at a couple meetings. I kind of thought you had to go to every meeting, so I got kind of sucked into it, but I totally enjoyed doing it. And I've actually, like most of you, gotten involved in my community. I'm a member of the Mies Manor Board of Directors, and I've been its chairman for 5 years. We're going to get a groundbreaking on a brand new memory care unit in Dunedin, and critical issues like senior independence is one of the things that we touch on all the time. But I've done that. I've worked in Little League as a coach and as a manager, coach, manager, and umpire, and certainly developed the thick skin for being an umpire that you need in this job. But it's been a privilege to be a part of the community, and certainly have enjoyed every minute of it. It's where I've done my work. It's where I've been proud to serve, and I look forward to serving this community. My background at the city has been one of working for awareness for our veterans, and worked on a Welcome Back program. We've become the first Purple Heart city in America, so I'm very proud of that. We focused on public safety, created a Public Safety Services Commission that keeps the Sheriff's Department in check, and the bunch of residents that look at our safety in our city as their primary focus. Worked on infrastructure enhancement. One of the main things we've worked on there, we've got a beautiful stormwater program. We're now kind of flood-free in the city of Dunedin, and the whole community rallied around about 10-15% of the city. So that was an important thing. We've worked on things like bringing Achieva Corporation to the city. We worked on things like Am I getting my 30 seconds? Okay. I worked on different aspects of economic development, which was really important to our city. So it's been a real privilege to serve, and I look forward to working with the unincorporated area on a day-to-day basis, and obviously on county-wide issues for the entire county. So I'm real thankful to have the opportunity to get before you tonight. And if you need somebody with some experience, I believe, some business background, somebody that's had a lot of the endorsements that I think are important. 2 major newspapers in the area, Sheriff's Department, the Sheriff himself, and so I think it's all. Oh, I got time. I didn't see the 10-second one. My apologies. I'll be back.
That's okay.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Keffalas, and I've been a 30-year-plus resident in Tarpon Springs. I'm going to take a little different approach tonight. I'm going to tell you why I'm a conservative. I'm going to read to you something I wrote last night about 2 o'clock in the morning, and I have copies of it. I didn't realize it in the 60s. I didn't realize it in the 70s. I realize it now. My father had a 3rd grade education, yet he owned a major painting business in Pennsylvania with as many as 350 employees. He taught me to treat people nice that work for you. He gave back to the community. In the 1960s, he gave the YMCA $100,000 towards a new building. He gave the local hospital $100,000 towards an emergency room update. He painted area churches for free, and he helped people all over town. To some, he was a soft target, but to him, he was giving back to his community that had made him wealthy in spirit and, yes, in his financial life. In 1972, he told me to go pick out a car. I fell in love with the bronze-colored Cutlass with a white top and white leather interior. He looked at it and said, it's much too showy. He was very conservative. So I went to the Chevy dealer, and I then fell in love with a Chevy Camaro, a brand new Chevy Camaro called Rosewood Metallic, boring brown. He said, that's the car for you, and he bought it, paid for it, and I was the only kid pumping gas 7 days a week in a gas station. That's not going to work. No, it's. Don't take this from my time, please.
No.
This isn't working. It works.
It's getting worse.
Okay, and you told me to go pick out a car, and I ended up with the Camaro. Well, anyway, I was the only kid pumping gas 7 days a week that drove a new Camaro, and I worked until 11 o'clock every night except during football season when I was a team manager for the high school football team. Looking back now, I realize and understand why he acted the way he did. He worked hard for his money. The neighbor kids asked if he was the garbage man because they only saw him on garbage day. In Wednesday's paper, there was an article stating 41% of Floridians have delinquent debt, which is above the national average of 35%. That's frightening. 2008, my wife and I were in a serious car accident. We were broadsided and our shoulders were badly damaged. After it was over and we were repaired and our 5-year-old SUV was replaced with its 5-year-old twin, right down to the same color, we sat down and discussed what would have happened to our son had we been killed in that accident. He would have been unable to continue the expenses of our house to sustain himself. So we decided to buy him a small house. Yes, we bought him a house, a place to live now and an investment in his future. My father taught me to take care of family first and then to help in the community. He raised me conservative, and I realize it now. To some, I may seem cheap. I am not. I am conservative. I've learned to live within my means, not spending more than I make, but to be cautious because we do not know what tomorrow brings. I want to instill that value in the county commission and work to prevent the near financial disaster we saw a few years ago in the county when the tax revenue fell. Now that the income is on the rise, the majority of this commission decides it's time to spend again. We need conservative values and conservative people who hear the voice of the voters and not that of the special interests. Please vote for me, Tim Keffalas. I want to be your conservative voice. Together we'll make a great team. Thank you.
My microphone. You're missing something. You're killing us. I don't know. You can eat now.
I am, and I've got to be careful.
Sticky.
I'm taking the rest of the table.
Good. Give me one. Thank you, sweetheart. It's a lot of feedback. I think you should use the mic we brought. Okay, try it now. Try.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Wanda Kemsey, and I'm a candidate for County Commission District 4. And I would like to thank all of you for coming out tonight, and especially for you hosting the event tonight to give us the opportunity to share what's on our heart and hear what your concerns are. My husband and I moved to Pinellas County in 1974 from Chattanooga, Tennessee. And my work history involves working for Pinellas County government for more than 30 years. During that time, I worked for 2 county commissioners and 3 county administrators. I was an executive assistant when I worked for the commissioners, but I was also the agenda coordinator when I worked for the county administrator. I'm very familiar with the operations. I was one of the key liaison people for the media, for the departments, the communities, and I know how the operations are done, especially when it comes to preparing the agenda. And one of my key responsibilities was listening and responding to the concerns of the citizens. And in my grassroots campaign, because I am walking neighborhoods throughout the district, one of the key voices that they have said to me is that they are disillusioned with their government and they're frustrated because their government is not listening to their concerns and their views. They ask me, can I make a difference? And I tell them, yes, I can. Because I've been there, I know how it's done, and I will be accessible. I will hold monthly chats with Wanda throughout the community to make sure that you know about the issues that impact you before those policy decisions are made. It's very important that you know about that. And I know that a lot of you have been upset. One example is the stormwater assessment fee. That was something that we needed to do, but you didn't have the details and you didn't know how it was going to impact you until they had that public hearing. It's important for me to make sure that you know about it, that we reestablish that trust, we improve the communications between our businesses, between you and our other governmental agencies, because we have to improve that so that you can have that trust with us again. I ask you to please take a look at my brochure, that you would go to my website and you would check out the other issues that are important, my commitment on there to you, and that should be accessible to serve you because we do work for you. And if you have questions afterwards, I would love to hear from you. And please remember to vote Wanda Kemsey, and my website, as I said, is www.votewandakemsey.com. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Peter Nehr, and I've known some of you in this room for over 12 years. Some of you I've just met recently. And one of the things I'd like to let you know is that actually I was born in Europe, and I'm a naturalized citizen. So I was born in Austria. And at that time, there was a lot of communism over there. And so my grandfather actually decided to come. How about this? Better? Okay. My grandfather actually came to the United States on his own, left 9 children and his wife over in Austria, and came to the United States, got a job, and as soon as he got established and got himself a house, he sent for his wife and he sent for his children. And how it worked is that I was one of the first ones to come over. I was 5 years old. My mother was the oldest, and what he told my mother and my father was the fact that, hey, the United States is a fantastic country, but you have 1 year. You can live in my house for 1 year, get together, get a job, learn English, do everything you need to do, become citizens as quickly as you can, and then I'm going to bring my other children over. And he brought all of his kids over from communist Europe over to the United States. The reason I mention this story is that when I was about 10 years old, my grandfather talked to me and he said, you know, we owe everything to this country. Everything, because the United States is a land of freedom. And I love my grandfather, and he said, one day I want you to give back to the country everything that you can. I said, sure, Grandpa, no problem. And then when I came to Florida, and about 2 weeks before I came here, I was 21 years old, and my grandfather came to me again. And he says, don't forget your promise. And I said, I won't. So when I came to Florida, the first thing I did was join Kiwanis and give back to the community. And then I joined Rotary, and I joined lots of other public offices. I became a city commissioner in Tarpon Springs for 4 years, and then after that, I became a state representative for 6 years. My name is Peter Nehr. I'm looking forward to your questions.
Good evening. Thank you for coming out tonight. My name is Marcus Harrison. I'm running for county commissioner. I'm actually no party affiliation, independent, so I will be in the general elections. I grew up here in Clearwater. I actually was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but grew up in Clearwater. I went to Skycrest Elementary, Clearwater High School. After high school, I went into the Navy. I served for 22 years, submarine service, nuclear power. I supervised the operation, maintenance, and repair of nuclear reactor and the propulsion plant. The reason why I decided to run for county commissioner is situations that were going on with the board with unincorporated Palm Harbor. I'm active in the chamber, and our chamber had appointed positions to our Palm Harbor Community Service Agency, which is our Parks and Rec department. The Board of County Commissioners decided that when Eastlake got their own funding source for their library, which was well-deserved, that instead of just bringing on 2 appointments from their advisory board, that they would reorganize the FIXA board against everybody's recommendation. We wanted it to go to 9. They changed it to 7 and made 4 appointments and did away with the chamber. I believe in the chamber. I believe in small business. I want to make sure that our community works together as a whole with the chamber and with the county commissioners. With that in mind is that the Board of County Commissioners right now, a lot of actions that are going on. I don't know how many of you heard about Greenlight N.Pinellas before it was decided to be put on the ballot. So that's a good example of how they didn't communicate to us. They could have used the chambers. They could have gone out to more opportunities. So I think there's more ways that we need better communication from the county commissioners and from our government. They have a great website, but everybody has a busy life. So we need to involve as many people in the community as we can. And through our business organizations, which again, as already has been mentioned, has been a backbone for our society. So some of the issues that come up before us, I think we need to make sure that we get it vetted before the citizens, and I believe in personal rights. I've been married for 37 years to the same beautiful wife. I have 2 great daughters. They were both graduated from college, and one of them going to beautician school right now. As my wife would like to say, I had 2 shore duties, now I have 2 children. So I'm been a servant. I'm not much of a public speaker. I don't mind speaking, but I don't like talking about myself too much. So anyway, thank you so much. My name is Marcus Harrison. I'm running for county commissioner, and I'm the independent candidate. Thank you.
Like a Geiger counter.
Yeah.
Found something.
Yes, it's under your seat.
Okay, well, is the audio clear?
That's just to make you nervous.
I don't know if it's on.
Red line on.
Light. Can anyone hear the audio?
Nope.
No?
No.
No, Tony's not picking up.
Oh, it's off. It's off.
And then you'll hand it
A lot
back.
of water.
It works on the table, but doesn't work.
It's got a mind of its own.
Try it.
Just so no.
Yep, it's just a phrase, right?
All right. Okay, candidate Norm Roche, you have 2 minutes for this question. Pinellas County has billions of dollars in interest-bearing accounts as shown